right, big breaking news. Nate Diaz, arrest warrant. Yikes. I'm going to show you guys that in a second. And also, DAmour. You know who DAmour is? I learned who he was on Saturday because Nate Diaz did him the biggest favor ever when he stood up and he threw a water bottle at him. And it was like, dude, who's the guy that Nate's throwing a water bottle at? It's like, turns out that guy in a pretty notable fight earlier that night that I'm going to show you a little bit about. And then he was in the Bourbon Street fight also, and apparently Nate Diaz's boys, busted him up a little bit. So I'm going to talk about all of those things in this video, and if I have time, I'll talk to you guys also about what Conor McGregor has said about all of this and the Jake Paul thing, about this, about Nate, about Jake Paul, and so on and so forth. Now, before we get into it, if you don't mind subscribing to the channel, I appreciate you guys doing that, because guess what? If you were watching my channel, if I was watching your channel and you were like, listen, man, if you're going to watch my content, just please subscribe to the channel. I'd be like, all right, boom. I would do it for you. And so I'm asking that if you watch my content, please just subscribe to the channel, click the button one time, forget about it. That's it. That's all I ask. Now, wait, what? Where do we start here? Okay, let's start with the arrest warrant, actually. Okay, so boom, look at this. Breaking, the New Orleans Police Department has issued an arrest warrant for Nate Diaz on a charge of second-degree battery stemming from the Bourbon Street fight. Story coming to MMA Fighting. Dude, what is up? That's courtesy of Steven Morocco on Twitter. Thank you, Steven Morocco. So, Nate Diaz, arrest warrant, second-degree battery. Now, I guess we also can talk about this thing, which is, whoops, that's the wrong one. So I guess we could also, talk about this, which is the DAmour video where he's going to basically say that Nate Diaz's friends have pillow hands and that if he was given the opportunity to batter Nate up in the cage, he would. He'd be like, I'll let you feel that 40 pounds, dog. I think he's more than 40 pounds bigger than him because I looked up how much he weighs. A former football player says 265. That's a big boy, man. That's a big boy. Nonetheless, DAmour, let me tell you something that you may not know. You don't want it with him, Nate. Just believe me. Believe me. I mean, if you're 265, that's a lot of weight, dude. That is a lot of weight. But here's the problem for you is how are you going to beat him? Okay, we'll get into that in a second, actually. First, I want to talk about the arrest warrant, all right? And then we'll talk about all the other stuff. Okay, so the arrest warrant. I was under the impression that there is a carve out when it comes to second degree battery, which is if Nate Diaz is involved, it's not a crime. You know what I mean? You see certain people fight and you're like, oh man, that's not good, dude. Not good. That guy's going to get in serious trouble for that. And then there are other guys where you're like, oh yeah, he's always fighting. He's allowed to do whatever he wants, Like as an example, if Conor fights in the street, you're like, oof. That's not going to be good for him, dude. Like, for whatever reason, you see Conor fight in the street, you're like, geez, he's going to wish he didn't do that. You see Nate fight in the street, you're like, I wonder, how many of those he got in that weekend, I don't think arrest warrant. I don't think legal consequences at all. It's just kind of like, yeah, that's what happens. It's kind of like Masvidal before he attacked Colby. Like, prior to him going after Colby, it's like Masvidal. It's like, dude, this guy pressed Masvidal. He pieced him up a little bit. You're all, damn. I guess you always blame the other party. It's like, I guess they didn't know who Masvidal was. Like, of course, you don't step to Masvidal like that, dude. Of course he's going to piece you up. What are you doing? It's not like, dang, he's a professional fighter. You should probably call the cops, And I'm going to be straight on this one. I've seen the video of and all of you guys have seen it by now, so we don't need to revisit it, but I've seen that video. Dude, the guy very clearly was involved in the altercation, and he, as far as I could tell, moved forward towards Nate like this. And listen, dude, okay, I'm going to talk about some street fighting things now, right? I might even accidentally tell a couple stories if I just lose control of myself, but we're going to start with just talking about street fighting in general, okay? Street fighting has different rules than fighting in the cage, okay? And a lot of them have to do with things like, as an example, if a person is walking towards you, I don't care if their hands are up. I don't care if their hands are down. I don't care if their it just makes no difference, dude. If you don't want to fight in a street fight, walk backwards, okay? It's as simple as that, dude. If you see a guy like Nate who's going like this, who's like, what's up? What's up? You go, whoa, no. And you walk backwards. You don't walk forwards. This dude walked forwards, okay? You want to know why the rule is not to walk forwards? Because, how you have any idea how many times I've seen a person go, whoa, hey, whoa, bah! You have any idea? It's That's almost like an expected move. If a guy, as a matter of fact, that is exactly what they do almost always. Come on, man, come on. It's not like you're in a cage and you've both agreed. It's like, all right, let's go and go. And you're like, all right, you know, we both know we're playing. Okay, there's no rules out there. And so a person who is trying, like, think about it like this. A real fight is like tag, on stand up, right? You want to touch them and not let them touch you, right? Well, it's the same. That rule is the same on the street, except that you can also do the thing. You're like, I'm not playing, dude. Dude, we're not playing. Hey, I'm not playing. Tag. Oh, you're out, dude. You're out, bro. I guess you should have kept your hands up. So if a dude walks towards you, hands up, hands down, irrelevant, dude. If there's a fight going on, no. Don't be shocked if you end up in a fight, if during a fight you walk in the direction of someone, especially Nate Diaz, dude. But even still, we just throw all those things out the window because the point is, it's Nate Diaz. He's allowed to fight, isn't he? He set the guy down nice. Yeah, he choked him out. The guy knew he was. I mean, one thing I will say is the guy wasn't even trying to fight to get out of that choke, dude. He was just like, wow, this is tight. I guess I'm going to sleep. I guess I'm going night. And he did. He loved it, dude. Now, Chase DAmour got in the fight with Nate. This is the best thing that ever happened in his career ever. Okay? He won a fight by knockout. No one would have known who the fuck he was. We know who he is because Nate Diaz threw a water bottle at him. You know? Like, that's why we know who he is. It's like, who's that guy that Nate threw a water bottle at? And why was he so confident running towards Nate? Is he out of his mind? You know? And it turns out he's a 265-pound football player who had just won by knockout. Well, or lost by knockout, except he's the one who knocked the guy out. So, you know, listen, dude. Feeling himself, dude. Feeling himself. Maybe he needs to learn the hard way what a professional fighter that's a black belt in jiu-jitsu actually feels like. Now, again, dude, if he really is 265, that's a lot of weight, dude. That's a lot of weight. And if he's athletic and he's strong, that's hard to deal with, dude. Even if you're a pro, he wouldn't win. I mean, he wouldn't win because of it, and only because Nate would choke him. Like, that's what would happen. Nate would choke him because the guy would try to knock Nate out. He wouldn't be able to knock him out. Then he would get tired, and then Nate would choke him. But nonetheless, you know, he's got a better shot than most people. Anyway, but the point that I'm making is that Nate shouldn't get arrested because what are we talking about? No one even got hurt. Oh, he got a boo-boo on the back of his head. Give me a fucking break. You're gonna arrest Nate Diaz? Of course Nate Diaz is fighting. He's never going back to New Orleans now. That's lame. You're doing the city a disservice, dude. All you're doing is making Nate never go back. Nate's not going back to New Orleans for a second-degree battery charge that you're gonna drop 5 minutes later as soon as he doesn't show up. Anyway, so let's talk about this Chase DAmour thing though, because let's just see what he said. Ready? Boom.
Messages for Nate Diaz and all his boys. As you can see, you guys finally put some damage on me. Didn't take any damage in any of my boxing matches, and you guys had to jump me in New Orleans. All of you guys who are in the UFC and MMA fighters, and you know, I had to fight your whole team off. You and your crew are the softest boys. All those kids on your team, I don't know how they are in the UFC or how they have any sort of winning record. You guys have pillows for hands, soft toilet paper for hands. You guys are a bunch of wipes, bro. And I can't wait to watch Jake Paul unalive you August, whenever you guys are fighting, because bro, like, I'll be there, and I'll be there to handle all your goons too, just in case they get out of line. Nate, if you're watching this, bro, get yourself locked in a cage with me for 5 minutes, bro. I promise you, I'm gonna show you what that 40-pound difference feels like, bro. You're soft. Jake, handle my light work.
Hey, I mean, listen. What are we talking? Are we talking about good promoting? Excellent job, dude. You are already in Misfits Boxing. I got a boxing match for you, dude. I do. Actually, no, I don't. If you're 250, it's too big. Too big for some guys. I wasn't talking about myself. I was talking about the Osundairo brothers. But you'll see them on Misfits pretty soon, or MVP. They're going to put you down. They're going to put people down, son. I mean, I guess people will find out the hard way that one of them is the Continental WBC African champion with all knockouts. But, you know, it'll be funny. They're all, oh, yeah, isn't he the one that jumped Jussie Smollett? You're all, yeah, don't look anything else up about him. Just jump in there, dude. Yeah. You know, he's got one fake fight. He's got one fake fight to his career. Just don't look up anything else. Definitely don't look up any footage of him boxing. Definitely take the fight. Take the fight for sure. Don't look up any footage though. Just it's just the Jussie Smollett thing. It's all fun and games with him, dude. Jump in there just see what happens. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, look, dude, Chase DeMoor, he's doing excellent promotions work, right? I'm not going to out of one side of my mouth be all, what the heck is Francis doing? Not promoting himself. He's doing a terrible job. And then this dude gets some shine because he got into it with Nate Diaz, and then he because he put up a video on Twitter that's all, I'll smash you in the cage. I mean, that's just common sense. Of course he should do that. Of course he should do that. 100% he should do that. Absolutely for sure. But, let me just explain something to this dude, okay? Let's just say hypothetically that someone did send this to Chase DeMoor. If you do not have any grappling, like none, like if you just got, you're feeling yourself on the boxing, right? Like you're feeling yourself on the boxing, and you think that the 40 pounds is actually going to translate to you winning a fight, this is exactly what I would suggest that you do. Go to any 10th planet, okay? Go to any 10th planet and then challenge a black belt there to a grappling match. And in your mind, just imagine that you were able to throw punches at them. Just be like, okay, well, in this position, I'd be able to throw punches, whatever. But like a 200-pound black belt, like Nate, right? Now, Nate will probably be better than the person that you're, grappling against, almost for sure. Well, it depends on where you go. But just actually feel what it feels like to be on the ground with a high-level black belt in no-gi jiu-jitsu. And just think to yourself, be like, oh, okay, I'd be able to punch him here. I'd be able to punch him here. And I think you're going to figure out, like, and let him know that it's a life or death round, right? Like, be like, here, we're going life or death, dude. Let me really feel what this is like. Because if you have no experience in jiu-jitsu, like, you have no fucking idea what you're talking about, okay? Like, you go in there in the cage, you're, and as soon as you lock up with Nate, you're like, oh, I'm going to throw him, and, like, you will be literally walking into a trap for 100% sure. No matter what you do on the ground, it's wrong. Fucking wrong answer. Go this way, wrong answer. Grab his leg, wrong fucking answer. Try to do this over here. Oh, let me get an underhook. Wrong answer, dude. He is going to use whatever you do against you. His algorithm is absolutely out of this world. If you have no experience, you don't even, like, you won't even know, like, what you're up against in any capacity whatsoever. Okay, jiu-jitsu is an algorithm. It's like, if I have a big dude and he does this, then I go here. And then if he does this, I go here. Nate's algorithm is endless. You can't beat him. It's not possible. You will fucking lose, dude. Your only chance is to knock Nate Diaz unconscious. And guess what? Who's done that again? Josh Thompson 100 years ago with a fucking kick to the face. Do you know how to roundhouse kick someone to the face? Do you think that Nate is going to let you kick him in the face? You think come on, dude. You can't seriously believe you'll win a cage fight against Nate. You can't. You can't actually believe that. You beat a fucking influencer in a boxing match, dude. You can't actually believe that you would win a cage fight against Nate. Please tell me you don't actually fucking believe that. Please tell me that. If you're 265, it's like, at least it's like, all right, I mean, maybe there's some world where this could happen, but you better get it done in the first fucking round, because if you don't, you're going to get tired, and Nate for 100,000% sure will choke you. Like, that's the thing that these guys, I mean, it's people like this don't understand. I'm 265, bro. I fucking promise. Lock me in there. It's like, all right. Okay. So what you're saying is you think you can get Nate out of there in the first 4 minutes. 4 minutes. That's what you have. You have 4 minutes to get him out of there. Because minute 5, you're going to be fucking exhausted, okay? Nate's ready to go 25. Nate's ready to go 50. He does decathlons, dude. He'll never run out of energy. Never, okay? You will be in there like, and I'll be caged. I'll be like, hey, how's that 65 pounds doing for you now, dog? Hey, what are you going to do now? What are you going to do now? You can't lift your arms. Your arms are too heavy to lift. What are you going to do? And Nate will be just kind of like, Nate will be slapping at you like, oh, what's up, Dick? You tired? You tired? And you'll know I'm going to lose. Like that, at that moment, you're going to be like, I'm going to lose for sure. Now it's a matter of time. I have too much pride to just let this happen. I got to put up a good fight. You'll be throwing, like, winging your punches. Nate will be fucking humiliating you. He'll, like, spit on the ground and laugh in your face. You'll know it's over. And then, fill in the blank of whatever way that he ends up strangling you. You'll tap, or you'll just let yourself go unconscious, which, whatever. I guess that's super gangster when people let themselves get choked unconscious. I don't really understand why. You're not getting out. You may as well tap. But nonetheless, that is for sure what will happen. Absolutely for sure. So, so if this fight ends up happening, Nate Diaz against Chase DeMoor in a cage fight, I am going to literally bet this on Nate, even though he will be like a 5-1 favorite. Okay. So what? I'll bet, yeah. What's this? 50 grand? I'll bet 50 fucking grand to win 10. What, you guys don't have 50 grand just sitting on your table? You don't have 50 grand sitting on your table? Oh shit, it's movie money. But I really would bet 50 grand on Nate Diaz. I would bet 50 real $1,000 on Nate in that situation. Fucking A, dude. Just dropping fake money everywhere. So anyway, that is that story, and I just want to reiterate that there is no fucking chance that guy would win ever in a million years, except if he's 65 pounds. I mean, like, it's no, fucking no. He's not getting Nate out there in a round, so no, he will lose. He will get tired. Nate will fucking strangle him. All right, now let's look at this thing too. So Connor, he says that he thinks that Nate is going to slap the head off of Jake Paul. Now this is different. Whoop. Hello. This is different, okay? So this is a different thing. Do I think that Jake can beat Nate in a boxing match? Yes, I do. And I think he will. And I do because we're talking about a different sport. Because Jake Paul is actually an excellent boxer, right? Excellent. Oh, my excellent boxer, dude. Look at what he just did. Look at what just happened to him against the fucking... Shut up. Shut the fuck up, man. He beat Anderson Silva. What about Tommy Fury? Yeah. Right. What about Tommy Fury? You mean the relative of Tyson Fury, who's an undefeated boxer? He had one mediocre outing. Everyone's all, he sucks, man. He sucks, man. He's an undefeated gypsy who's related to Tyson Fury. Okay? Shut the fuck up. Okay? Shut the fuck up. Jake Paul beat Anderson Silva. Okay? Now, who do you think would win in a boxing match? Anderson Silva or Nate Diaz? I'm going to say Anderson Silva. And Jake Paul beat Anderson Silva. And to be honest, Nate Diaz and Anderson Silva don't have like that different of a thing. They're kind of built the same. The idea that Jake is going to get beat by Nate Diaz, I just kind of go, how? How is that going to happen? Exactly the way that I just broke down this cage fight with Chase DAmour. It's like, all right, so you're going to get him out of there in fucking 3 minutes? Because by minute 4, you already know. It's like, shit, why is he still awake? It's like, well, A, because you didn't really hit him very well. But even if you did, it's Nate Diaz. What's your plan? Are you going to mount him? You understand how easy it's going to be for him to escape your mount? Like, seriously, there's no fucking chance he beats him, dude. It's fucking ridiculous. There's no chance. None. How are you going to beat him? You think you're going to land a big right hand, whatever? That's your only chance. Because if you get on the ground, you think you're going to get on top of him. Oh, I'm 40 pounds bigger. Do you have any idea how easy it's going to be for him to escape your mount? It's ridiculous. Just get the fuck out of here. You're not going to beat him. But in a boxing match, Jake Paul, I think, will beat Nate Diaz. I do. I think he's going to beat him. I think if they fought in the octagon, I think Nate would definitely beat Jake Paul for sure. Okay? Different sport. Different fucking sport. Different sport. But yeah, so that is what I think will happen. Now, Conor McGregor said that he thinks Nate Diaz, I think Nate Diaz slaps the head off of him, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. Unsurprisingly, it didn't take long for Paul to see McGregor's comments and respond. The problem child not only predicts that he will finish Diaz, but he offered to set up a boxing match with McGregor that would take place in Dublin. Can you imagine how big that fight would be? Can you imagine how big that fight would be? Can you imagine how big that fight would be? It would be enormous. And I realized, it wouldn't be that. Yes, it would. Conor versus Jake Paul it wouldn't be as big as Mayweather and Conor was, but it would be enormous. But I don't think that Dana's going to sign off on that. I'm a better boxer than you, Conor, and will do what you want and knock Nate out. And after Nate, let's box as a co-main event same night as Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano in Dublin. But since you're not your own boss, you will hide behind UFC president or just drink the rest of your life away. August 5th, you will see. Yeah. So like I said, I do think that Jake is going to beat Nate Diaz, but I do not think that he would beat Conor McGregor. I also don't think that anyone that is in Misfits Boxing or in MVP, like these, influencer boxers, has any chance against Nate in a fucking real fight, as you saw in the street fight. Like, he's a black belt in, like, a really high level jiu-jitsu black belt who has arms that are dude, he's built for jits, dude. Long ass limbs. He'll triangle you everywhere. He'll choke you standing up. He'll choke you standing. Like, he's gonna fucking choke the shit out of you. It's just going to happen. But anyway, so that is pretty much what I got on this video. I could probably do a little bit more and show you what Conor McGregor looked like at the casino the other night. But man, it was. If there was any question about whether or not Conor McGregor was I don't think there is anymore after seeing that video. Anyway, I love you guys. Subscribe to the channel. Peace.